Tom Hauser here with another midweek blessing. Hey, what's the difference between watching a basketball game and playing basketball? What's the difference between studying how to invest in the stock market and actually investing in the stock market? What's the difference between a savings account and a job? And the difference in all those things, one of them is passive and one of them is active. One of them is thinking about it and talking about it and hoping something happens, and the other is actually doing something about it. This week's GP praise for our church family is that more and more Grace Pointers, more and more of our church family would be in active pursuit of thinking, acting, and being more like Jesus. Because while it is true that only God can do these changes in us, only God can help us to think more like Jesus thought about people, about situations, about life. Only God can change our hearts to respond, to react to situations without anger, without greed, without lust, without all these things. Only God can change the way we interact with the world to be more loving and less prideful, to be more giving and less selfish. Only God can do those things for sure. But it's also true that God uses our effort and mixes it in with His grace to produce these wonderful results. God has no intention. The whole thing is not designed for us to sit still and passively just pray and hope God will change us. No, we have to actually do something. We have to actively do something to pursue Christ-likeness. And so our prayer again for this week was that we would actively pursue Christ-likeness. It's a little like the difference between a savings account and a job. A savings account, you're going to earn some interest on it for sure. If you put $1,000 in a savings account, you might earn a few dollars of interest in a year. But if you have a job, you will earn thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in a year. One is inactive, it's passive. A savings account is passive. A job is active. And so our prayer this week for our church family, my prayer for you, my prayer for me this week, is that we would be people who are more and more in active pursuit, intentional active pursuit of thinking more like Jesus thought about things, of acting more the way He acted in the world, and of being more like Him inside, moment by moment, day by day. And that we would never assume that God's just going to zap us and make us more like Jesus, but that He will come alongside us as we allow Him and we open ourselves up to Him to actively pursue that. That's our prayer for our church this week. That's my prayer for you this week. May God's great grace enable you to do more than you could ever imagine. Until next time, peace, friends.